Opportunity is just like energy. Energy actually never goes away, according to science. It just changes form. Opportunity is the exact same thing. It might have gone away in the form that you're used to seeing it, but it doesn't go away from the world. It just changes form, and it is your job to open up your eyes and have the vision and the drive to go find where that opportunity has switched to.
Welcome, everybody, to the Chris Harder Show, where we are making you unapologetic about your pursuit of success, knowing that when good people like you make good money, they can then do great things. My name is Chris Harder, and several times per week, I will bring you epic guests, solo episodes, and every single tool, trick, and skill set you need to grow your business, grow your money mindset, and to grow your wealth to levels that you have never reached before. I've ended up in a unique place in life where I've got the experience, the connections, and all of the secrets that it takes to be successful. And I'm lifting the curtain to reveal it all to you in an effort to help put you in a position of abundance so great that you can then be as generous as possible. So let's lock arms and let's get started.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chris Harder Show, where today I am grateful for all the doctors and nurses and medical professionals and even friends in my life that have a lot of knowledge around this stuff that have all come together to repair my torn bicep and my shoulder that was all torn up inside. I am now 2 days post-surgery. If you remember a few episodes back, I told you I tore my bicep during moving houses. And, it's not fun. But I'm on the other side of the toughest part, and now it is rehab and recovery and pain management, and I have had the best resources available to me. And for that, I am so grateful. And if you're wondering what in the world I'm starting with talking about gratitude, I start every solo episode that I do with gratitude to help remind you to take a pause and stop and think about what you're grateful for. Take inventory for what you're grateful for. Because if we never stop to recognize what we do have going in our favor, then it's almost the same as not having it at all. And I promise you, it is a game changer. Now, being grateful can be kind of a difficult thing to feel when there are markets in turmoil and stock markets crashing and news talking about tariffs and tariff wars and all these things. And that's what I wanted to address today. How do I feel about the tariffs and the stock market crashing and everything going on around us? Now, contrary to popular belief, I'm not an economist and I'm not a financial advisor. I just really enjoy the economy. Like, I study it like kind of a nerd for fun. And I really enjoy studying money. Hence, that's how I started out this podcast years ago, back when it was called For the Love of Money. It kind of started in 2008, 2009, when Lori and I lost everything. And I said, damn it, I'm going to learn everything there is to know about what to do with my money. And I'm going to learn from the people that made money during tough times, not people that lost money during tough times. And that began my interest in this study. So I'm just a guy who's naturally interested in learning about the economy and learning about money. And the one thing that I've learned, and the one thing that I know, is that the most important thing when it comes to money is how you feel about it. Now, I know a bunch of you are going to jump in here and say, that's bullshit. Like, it's the mechanics, it's compounding over time, it's all these. Yes, of course, that stuff is important. But the most important thing, and I'll show you, the most important thing about money is how you feel about it, what your energy is around it. Do you feel empowered around it, or do you feel scared around it? I already referenced the very important things for you to know, the very important things for you to learn and execute to be financially literate. I'm not taking away from the importance of basic financial knowledge by saying this. But how you feel about money and how you feel about your financial situation will always determine your outcome. Here's what I mean. If the entire market just got cut in half with what's going on, I still feel like I know how to make money. My safety doesn't come from how much money I have in the bank right now, or how much crypto I have in cold storage, or what I have in my Vanguard accounts. It comes from my ability to make money in any market. My confidence in making money. That is where my financial security comes from. And that is where your financial security should come from as well. And I'm confident that I know how to make money in any market, really, because I know how to solve problems. And when you know how to solve problems, you get to charge for it. So if you're scared about what's going on all around us right now, take a good, hard look and ask yourself, are you scared that the markets are tanking? Or are you really scared about the uncertainty of how to make a living going forward if things get rough? Because the truth is this, roughly 89 to 90% of all equities in the United States, that means all stocks, bonds, funds, you name it, are owned by the top 11% of people in the United States. 90% of all equities are owned by only about 11% of the people in the United States. The other 10% are shared by 89% of the rest of the people in the United States. So when the stock market's crashing, it's not really affecting most people that much. It's just the fear that's affecting them. When you hear about all these tariffs that are going on, it's not necessarily affecting a lot of people's retirements and 401ks to the extent at which the media would have you believe, because most people don't have that much in there to begin with. They should have more, but the reality is that 89% of the country just doesn't. And so what it really comes down to is, are you a survivor? Are you somebody who's resourceful? Are you somebody that knows how to leave the cave and go out and gather what you need to gather in any storm, in any market? And I bring up that word storm. And I'd like to use the analogy of driving in a snowstorm. When I was 16 years old, I grew up in Wisconsin, and I literally took my driver's test in a snowstorm. That is not ideal. Luckily, I passed. And if you've ever driven anywhere in a snowstorm, it's not that you don't make it to your destination. It's that you have to take some alternative routes. Maybe you stay off the highways. You have to drive a lot slower. You got to be a lot more careful. You need some new tools, like you got to put chains on your tires sometimes, depending where you are. You just have to understand how to drive in a snowstorm. And you have to have the understanding that when you're driving in a snowstorm, you don't get to move forward at record pace. When you're driving in a snowstorm, you don't get to take the route that you necessarily wanted to take. But you can still get to your destination, as most everybody does. And that's all this is when the tariffs are on again, off again, on again, off again, and the markets are crashing. And by the way, I've got very strong opinions about why these things are going on that I'm not going to share in this episode. This is not the episode for that, because that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is how you can navigate driving in this snowstorm and still get to your destination safely and with confidence the way that you want to. So what kind of energy do I have right now? I've got the energy of opportunity. Markets go up and markets go down. As a matter of fact, when people panic, when panic is set off by the news, all this rhetoric out there, markets crash. And when people panic, that's when you should take advantage of that panic. Take advantage of those dips. I've been buying up a storm every day with every major dip. Now, if you don't have the capital to buy up a storm, that's okay. The point of this is when there's panic in the air and when markets are tanking, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It means new opportunity is created, and you have to be resourceful enough to find that new opportunity. If you don't have the capital to be buying these equities directly, then you should have the resourcefulness to figure out how you can participate. Continuing with this theme of having an energy of opportunity, because that's really what will make you wealthy over time. Not having an energy of fear around your money, but having an energy of opportunity. Even if we ended up in some kind of big recession, like if this is the match that strikes and burns everything to the ground like 08, 09 again, even if it's a tragic recession, I have personally seen lots and lots of people get very, very rich all around me during bad times. 2008, 2009. People all around me became incredibly wealthy, taking advantage of the change that happens during a recession. It's a very key sentence right there. Change is what happens during a recession. You see, when there's a change, that change creates new opportunities. It demands new solutions. Where there is fear, there are new solutions needed in order to solve those fears. When things are in flux, when things are crazy, when things are in disarray. It only enhances opportunity if you've got the mindset of being willing to leave the cave and look for where the opportunity is switched to. Opportunity is just like energy. Energy actually never goes away, according to science. It just changes form. Opportunity is the exact same thing. It might have gone away in the form that you're used to seeing it, but it doesn't go away from the world. It just changes form, and it is your job to open up your eyes and have the vision and the drive to go find where that opportunity has switched to.
Thanks for listening. And if you loved this episode and know of someone else who is as successful as they are generous, please pass them on to me. It would mean the world to me if you help me get this cause and this message out to as many listeners as I can. So please, if you liked what you heard, it goes a long way if you take 30 seconds and leave me a 5-star review and share this with your friends. I'll be forever grateful. And until the next episode, cheers to your success.